invite you to a series of podcasts devoted to the Salesforce CRM system. What will be their topic?
First of all, we want to help our listeners who already work with Salesforce to solve everyday problems, not only in the area of sales, customer service, or marketing, but also in the other departments like HR or finance. All this using Salesforce CRM functionalities.
We want to show you how, using the solutions available in Salesforce, various departments in the organization can cooperate efficiently with each other.
We would like to show the capabilities of the Salesforce system to all those who consider selecting a CRM system. However, we don't want to repeat standard slogans describing the greatness of this system. We rather assume that we want to show how many of the problems we deal with every day in the company can be solved by Salesforce.
We also want to discover the unknown. We want to dive into those areas of Salesforce that may not be widely used, but may be very useful to improve and optimize everyday tasks.
We also want, in an easy way, to inform listeners about changes in Salesforce system and indicate areas where specific changes can be applied.
And last, but probably the most important thing, we want to learn about the problems and needs of our listeners. We will be happy if you would like to contact us. We are waiting for information about the challenges and problems that you would like to solve using the Salesforce system. However, if you are now about to choose a CRM system, we will be happy to share our knowledge and information about available solutions in Salesforce.
Let's build our knowledge and experience together.
In the first podcasts, we will discuss issues related to sales departments. We will try to break down the challenges faced by the salespeople and their managers, and then propose solutions supported by Salesforce. Let's get started.
Radek, as you know very well, in the sales area, we very often face the issue with efficient and optimal managing the work of sales team. We often hear that sales manager don't know what their reps are doing at given moment, how much time they spend on tasks related to work with customer, how much time they spend on administrative activities, and even if they have at least a moment to drink coffee. I would like to know whether it is possible to improve the management of a sales team using the features available in Salesforce.
Definitely yes. Salesforce offers a wide range of advanced functionalities related to planning and reporting of sales activities. They can be used for both field and online meetings with customers, as well as reporting on telephone calls and emails. First of all, we can prepare in Salesforce scenarios of customer meetings. With such scenarios, during the meeting, the sales rep will be able to select specific items from the list, fill in the required data, and after the meeting, the system will automatically save the information. Secondly, Salesforce make it easier to plan sales visits. We have access to a calendar in which we enter the info where and to whom we want to go in a particular week, on a specific day and at a specific time. The calendar looks very similar to the one we know from Outlook. An important difference is that each activity can be associated with a customer record or with the record of a contact person working for the customer's company. A scheduled meeting has a specific status indicating that it has not been completed yet. Thirdly, the sales rep can make specific visits based on the meetings scheduled in his calendar. While visiting the customer, depending on the scenario, she or he can report activity during the visit or enter the data info and information right after the visit. His work is even easier thanks to a mobile application that can be installed on a phone or a tablet. With the features built into both Android and iOS, you can dictate information in Salesforce. It will be saved as a text in the appropriate field.
Great, it sounds very nice. So let's go now to the benefits of using each of these solutions, both for the sales manager and sales rep. You mentioned the possibility to create meeting scenarios. What benefits do we get when using them?
Well, if we are talking about the scenarios, the most important is that it is much easier to conduct the meeting. The scenario is something like a checklist in which specific points need to be checked off. The sales rep doesn't have to wonder if he has forgotten something, and his boss is sure that the entered data will be complete. Another benefit of using scenarios is that we can differentiate them depending on the purpose of the visit or the client we are talking to. This means that if a salesperson goes to a customer to talk about a specific product, he or she may use one scenario, but if the visit is intended to talk about business in general, the scenario will be completely different. This means that we can include an infinity number of scenarios in the system which can be differentiated depending on the product or service, the size of the customer, or the length of the cooperation, as well as other criteria that are important for a sales department operating in a specific industry. Summarizing, the sales rep can conduct a meeting based on a predefined set of steps, being sure that he or she will not miss any important issues.
You've mentioned planning visits and calendars before. However, I would like to know how the Salesforce solution differs from planning in Outlook, which we know very well, and what additional possibilities it offers.
This is a very good question, as people often wonder why they should change the old, good, and proven ways of doing things to other completely new solution which they need to learn. The current calendar in Salesforce is similar to the one provided in Outlook, but it is much more extensive and gives us more possibilities. First of all, it is worth adopting the practice that the sales rep plans customer visits for the next period, for instance, visits for the entire next week. This means that these visits are linked to the customer's record from the very beginning, even before the visits are executed. They are also included in the history of contacts with the customer. Another useful practice is to schedule the next meeting with a particular customer immediately after the current meeting ends. Thanks to this, the manager knows where his rep is at a given moment and which customer he will be talking to. When knowing the work plan, he can also influence it by providing the sales rep with his ideas and suggestions. By building such practices, we support team cooperation. At the same time, the sales manager doesn't have to constantly remind subordinate employees to complete the data.
Does it mean that sales manager can directly work on the visit record planned by the sales rep and enter his suggestion regarding the meeting in the visit record?
Yes, this is exactly how it looks like. All communication regarding a specific meeting can take place within the record of that meeting in Salesforce.
Okay, the visit is scheduled, the meeting details are saved in the activity record, and the salesperson goes to the customer. What happens next?
The sales representative, depending on the practices of his company, can take various actions. If we use visit scenarios, he can use them and fulfill the necessary data during the meeting. This means that when the meeting is finished, the activity report is ready at once. However, if a company doesn't use visit scenarios, it is still necessary to save the information and arrangements with the client in the system. After leaving the customer, the sales rep can create a report in a mobile application by filling in the mandatory fields and saving the outcomes in appropriate text fields using the dictation option.
Does it mean that the sales rep can do it quickly and doesn't have to enter all the data manually?
Yes, and it makes the sales rep work much easier by speeding up their administrative activities. It's also worth to mention that a similar option can be used when reporting telephone calls. In the simplest case, phone calls can be reported by the rep immediately after they are finished. For example, by dictating the outcomes into the phone. In more advanced solutions, for example, when using sales engagement, we can record conversation and even use artificial intelligence to create descriptive reports based on the conversation recording. Of course, one should remember about regulations related to the personal data protection, so the company must be prepared for this.
So let's go back to our salesperson who has finished his meeting with the customer. How can a sales manager support his daily work?
We already know that a few minutes after visiting the customer, the sales representative has a full activity report that is available in the system and can be visible to the manager. In the report, the salesperson can also address a problem that has occurred during the meeting and requires the manager's help. Thanks to this, we build ongoing cooperation between the rep and his boss. However, these are not the only solutions supporting such cooperation. We can also use Chatter, an internal information exchange system that is an important item of Salesforce. Using it, the sales rep can share information about problem situations that require quick action or help from other people.
Perfect. I understand that such an advanced solution makes it possible to reflect a customer related discussion directly in a customer's record. That means that when sales manager accesses a customer record, he or she will see the question regarding a particular customer and the solutions proposed by other team members.
Yes, this is exactly what the solution does for us.
How else can we use the solutions you presented?
Based on visit reports, the sales manager can also conduct one to one meetings with his team members. During these meetings, the results of sales activities are discussed. You can also talk about tasks planned for the next days or weeks. Reports about completed and planned activities are helpful in such discussions. During the meetings, problems to be solved as well as important successes can be identified and discussed. Conclusions from both can be shared with the entire team.
Now tell me about an example of a solution that is used rather seldom, but you strongly recommend this solution as it can facilitate the work of sales rep and their relationship with customers.
Hmm. In my opinion, it is worth to mention solutions based on artificial intelligence. More and more often, such features appear in each area of life. Salesforce is also working on them under the collective name Einstein. However, this issue is a topic for a separate podcast, or even several podcasts. However, as we are talking about sales visits and preparing for them, we can mention the Account Insights feature. This is a functionality that shows the latest information about the customer coming from external sources such as media or social networks. This may include, for example, information about the customer increasing sales, cutting costs, changes in its management board, or its involvement in acquisitions of other companies. You can imagine what such knowledge means in the process of preparation for conversations with a customer.
What we've mentioned is only a small part of the problem areas in sales activities which we can support with the Salesforce system. We will talk about more of them in the coming podcast.
However, if in your everyday work you encounter problems that you would like to solve with the Salesforce system, please contact us. We will be happy to analyze the problem you report and indicate available solutions. Speak
Speak soon.
soon.